They were opening the Houston office, trying to find partners, and I just loved how he did business. He didn't say, hey, we've got this stuff we want to sell, and if you buy this, you can get the second one half off. He really visited with me. He said, hey, here's this product we have. We think it can help. We're trying to find people that will partner. And what I love, too, is I'm in sales, so it's our guys need to look at it, and so he said, you can take one, you can borrow it, test it. And I just liked how he did business. And so I friended him on Facebook, LinkedIn, and kind of have followed him. And what I love, too, is he does stuff, he really cares about people, and I recently saw this because marketing. And I was like, we need to go catch up, we need to talk, I want to hear what you're doing. It's really exciting, and I think he has just a great, sincere way about him where you don't really know he's selling. He did something on Facebook, I'll tell him myself. There was something he had shown, some Japanese toothpaste. And he said he had a before and after picture, and I bought some just based on this stuff. So you never know if it's going to be his kids that are on there that are doing something crazy, or if he's going to show some Japanese toothpaste. I hope there's no warnings because you can't. I thought you can't read these, but it's just fun following him, and I'm excited to hear what he has to say today.
Thank you, Leslie. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. Very kind introduction. My name is Brandon Bain, and I own Because Marketing. I'm going to tell you a little bit about, today's topic is Power of Purpose. Because Marketing is a outsourced marketing for small to medium-sized businesses. We are sales optimization strategists that masquerade as marketing. So we're basically using marketing tools to help the bottom line. That's really what it's all about. It's not marketing for the sake of marketing. Oh, I have a cool graphic or idea that I want to put out. Well, we need to tie a revenue and return on investment on that. So today we're going to talk about cause-based messaging or cause-based marketing and its impact to brand loyalty. We're going to talk about why and how it works, and then multiple ways in which you guys can today go out into your own businesses, do it yourself, and achieve some success. Just a quick bio for me. I'm born and raised in Katy, Texas. I'm married to my wonderful wife, Tracy. Last week we celebrated our 9-year anniversary.
Wow.
And we drove down to South Padre, which is kind of fun with our 3 children. I have a 4, about to turn 5-year-old boy, and 2 twin infant daughters.
Wow.
Yes, I call them infants, but they're 16 months now. Right there next to it, exercise. That's my exercise, running around with kids. I call it cardio. Big coffee drinker. That's like my 3rd cup, so if I'm talking too fast, tell me to slow down. I'm a technologist, musician, magician. I'm a diehard Houston sports fan, which means I'm a glutton for punishment.
That is true.
A little bit about my background in school and business. I started off, actually, when I was 18, I got my real estate license. And I did some real estate in college for a little bit. And then I graduated from Texas A&M in philosophy, which was their de facto pre-law program. And I started asking myself, well, why am I doing this? I didn't have a passion for it. And, everyone when I was a kid used to tell me, oh, you'd make a good lawyer. Well, I think it was because I argued a lot. But I didn't have a passion for it, so I pivoted and I went into business development. And I really enjoyed it. And I created one of the largest wholesale loan pipelines for in the mortgage business before the crash of 2008. In 2008, an Italian network security company called me up, Nancy was talking about it, and said, hey, we'd like you to help spearhead the launch of our company into the US. So we didn't know anything about marketing and advertising and brand management and anything. I knew business development, I knew channel management, and we had to learn everything. It was me and my business partner, and we essentially had about 3 or 4 months of salary, and they slapped us on the rear end and said, go get them, kids. And we're going up against massive companies with big budgets. So we had to learn a lot, and we failed a lot on a lot of little projects, but we learned that way. And we're proud to say that year after year after year, for 9 years, we grew every single year until I left to form my own business and follow my passion. Okay, so what is cause marketing? Cause marketing, in the traditional sense, is the amalgamation or the arrangement of a for-profit company and a non-profit like a 501c3 for the purposes of raising social awareness, funds for a cause. You might think of American Express and March of Dimes, those big companies. The problem with this model is that it requires a lot of administrative overhead, and that is a lot of cost and time and legal liability. And most small, medium-sized companies, if that's the definition, I'm tapping out. I don't have time, I don't have the money to do all that. So for our purposes, we've redefined cause marketing to be doing good, integrating what you do in life, doing good, into your brand messaging, right? And there's a lot of reasons why this is important. So there's a lot of big companies, examples of companies that are doing this. For example, Uber is known for doing cause marketing, right? They raise tens of billions of dollars for different campaigns like Jobs for Vets, Homes for Cats and Dogs, Close to the Needy, things like that. Tom's Shoes is a really good example because they have the one-for-one program. You buy a pair of shoes and they send a pair of shoes to someone in need. They've actually expanded that to other services as well, like preventing bullying, Safe Birth, Water, Site as well. And then there's fundraising challenges that you can show, like the Ice Bucket Challenge, for example, raised $115 million for ALS. Okay, so why use it? In a world saturated by service providers with unlimited access to them, how are you different and why does it matter? Cause marketing helps develop brand loyalty and trust by demonstrating accessible authenticity. So, quick biology lesson. I'm not a biologist, but I have a passion for learning things like this. So this is not psychology, this is biology. There's a hard-coded reason why this works. This blue area here, loosely defined as the neocortex. That's the higher order thought centers of our brain. It's going to be responsible for thought, like reason, logic, evaluating features and benefits, and language. That's how we all believe we make decisions, right? Oh, I evaluate the features and I make a decision, like I'm Spock, just a cold, hard decision. What's really happening is the ancient centers of our brain, the limbic brain, that's just responsible for more the emotional, like trust, loyalty, that's the one that's actually making the decision, and it's responsible for all human behavior. And the reason why we use cause marketing is because cause marketing is designed to target that center of our brain. So, real quick, we have 4 neurotransmitters in our brain, right? Dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, and endorphins. They all have different responsibilities for mood elevation. Oxytocin is what's released when you give a hug to someone. A kiss, it's the relationship hormone or the relationship neurotransmitter. And it happens to increase in elevation levels when you give a gift to someone. It happens to increase in levels when you receive a gift from someone. Most people can make that conclusion. But what most people don't understand is when a gift is, an act of kindness is witnessed, the third party receives that increase in oxytocin. And oxytocin is responsible for trust and loyalty. It's brand building chemical. So real quick, I just did my first Airbnb last week, and I absolutely loved it. It was really neat. Brian Chesky, you might know him, CEO of Airbnb, said it's better to have 100 people that love you than 1 million people who like you. And I think it's obvious. The point he's trying to make is I want 100 evangelists, not 1 million people that just know I exist, right? Okay, so this is my judgment-free slide, okay? This is the modus operandi, the core philosophies of companies and how they can act and how they make decisions internally. So at the very bottom, you have profit-driven companies. And you can be successful at any level. There's a lot of very successful profit-driven companies. And these are companies that are going to ask themselves questions like, how do I increase my margin? How do I lower cost? How do I reduce price? How do I, I'm trying to make the most margin and lower the price. I'm the generic brand of batteries, right? Product-driven companies, an incredible amount of very successful companies, and when I say product, I mean product service. Successful companies operating in the space. These are people that are trying to solve the problem in a better way. We have better features, we have better service, we have more features, we're unique, we do things differently, we take care of our customers better. We are focused on the customer, we're trying to improve the customer's experience. And you can be very successful with that, and there are a lot of companies that are. And then at the top you have purpose-driven companies. These are companies that play by different rules. They're going to attack the purpose and the cause irrespective of the rules of the game. Now keep in mind, they still have to deal with product questions. How do we make great products? How do we handle our customers better? They still have to deal with questions on how do we keep costs low, right? How do we keep the price down? But they're first going to attack what's our purpose. Okay, so I had this on Keynote and it had some really cool, fun animations and stuff, but I had to transfer it over to a Windows machine. Sorry about that. So, who do profit-driven companies attract?
I'm not going back to the 70s.
I know, Stone Age. So, I'm sorry.
Okay, now.
Who do profit,
The time is up.
So profit-driven companies, now these are generalities, but profit-driven companies are going to attract people that want savings, right? That's their emotional weighing system says, I want the best price. That's what they're going to attract. Product-driven and service-driven companies are going to attract people that appreciate the quality, appreciate the service, appreciate the differentiating feature, whatever. And then purpose-driven companies are going to attract people that are like-minded, that care about the cause, right? Okay, so brand loyalty, let's relate to brand loyalty. How long do they stay? Well, at the bottom, brand awareness. How long are people that want savings for savings? They're going to stay as long as your product is the perceived best value or the best price. And it's readily available. So if I see Duracell and I see Kroger, oh, I'll take the Kroger ones because I'm price sensitive. Oh man, who's this off-brand company cheaper? I'll take that one, right? You're going to win as long as you're the best price. Brand preference. Those people are going to stay as long as your product is the perceived best service or best feature. You know, the problem with that is products are changing so fast in the global marketplace that features and services, you only have a short window of time where you have like the exclusivity on a great feature, right? And then brand insistence, the evangelists. These are people that are going to stay as long as you are true to your core purpose and your core values, and they still believe in that core value, right? They didn't have a life change. Which one of these people do you think stay the longest, right? Green, right? People that prices that change on a daily basis, brand preference, products change on a weekly, monthly basis, but causes are eternal because it's about humanity, right? So those don't change. And I love this case study. I use this big case study because it's easy to digest. But there's an infinite number of small businesses that are doing cause marketing like unknowingly. They don't even know they do it. Like, yeah, I do that too. My dad, for example, knew we talked about that. No, I can bring him on this case study. But Chick-fil-A, they're a purpose-driven company, and they actually have their tagline on their masthead. It's to glorify God by being a faithful steward of all that's entrusted to us, to have a positive influence on all who come into contact with Chick-fil-A. Okay? They're unashamed about their core beliefs. So look at what they've been able to achieve. Industry low turnover. Promote from within. They are closed on Sundays, right? They have shorter store hours. They offer tuition reimbursement. They offer wind-shaped homes. They're closed on holidays. They prioritize cleanliness. How many have walked into a dirty Chick-fil-A? Raise your hand. Yeah, I don't see any hands. Because they care so much about the experience, right? And that's a cost for them. And they only bring in employee franchise members that are employees. So you have to have been in the Chick-fil-A franchise to have a franchise at some point. You can't just bring in an outside investor. Now, if they were a profit-driven company, if their modus operandi was, let's focus on how do we increase profit, and that's what our central theme is, then those people would say, well, we need to save costs by lowering wages and bringing them down to the McDonald's of the world and all the other companies, right? We pay our people too much. We need to open for longer store hours, Sundays and holidays, right? We need to get the revenue up. We need to deprioritize cleanliness. We spend twice as much on cleanliness as everyone else. We need to reduce the number of food options and maybe we can find cheaper products for our food, right? That will still keep the same number of people coming in. Maybe we can offer fewer product promos. I don't know if there's anyone in here that hasn't gotten a free Chick-fil-A sandwich at some point. They offer so much free promo. And then we should do things like expunging tuition assistance and the wind-shaped homes and all that. That's what a profit-driven company would do, is they would focus on the bottom line. But they don't do that. Product-driven company, if they were a product or service-driven company, they would improve access to their products and their service by opening on days where you can't get them. I can't tell you how many times I had to go to Sonic because Chick-fil-A was closed on Sunday. I was like, oh, it's Sunday. God next door. Sonic got a lot of my business that way. Yeah. They would, if they were a service-driven company, they might say, well, let's remove faith from the masthead. Like, it's nice that we have this core belief, but we're like potentially alienating millions of people that might love our chicken that don't come here because we're so, focused on our faith. Promote from outside the company. Oh, let's go out and hire the most talented professionals in the world and let's integrate them as quickly as we can. These are common themes in business. And then allow outside investors. Grow faster, bigger market share. Let's bring in people with a lot of money and let's just put a franchise up in every corner, which they pretty much do anyway. Yeah. But this is interesting. They don't do that. And they still make 20%, 19% more profit per store than any other store in the world, any other restaurant in the world. And you have companies like McDonald's that do $2.5 million per store on average, and they're doing $3.2, and they're only open a fraction of the time, right? So they're not changing. Okay, so Okay. So last couple slides tell you about how I believe that small businesses kind of miss and they can do something today that would be beneficial in cause-based marketing. Create a purpose that's greater than profitability and stick it on your masthead just like Chick-fil-A. And remind yourself of it and talk about it and believe in it. And you're going to attract those people. Law of attraction. I don't know how many of y'all believe that. I do. Tell the story of why. There's nothing more important than telling people's story, right? Humanizing. When you can tell the why you got a business, why you believe in something, why it matters to you, people are going to gravitate towards you, and they're going to, it's going to engender feelings of trust and loyalty. It's relationship automation. I believe when you say, I feed the homeless, it's a different story than, and I spent the weekend feeding the homeless, it's a different story than I spent an afternoon with a homeless man, and I took him out to lunch, and we talked about his life, right? It just feels different, okay? Align your efforts specifically to the cause. So, for example, you can't be in supporting healthy living and then own a pizza buffet, right? They're going to contradict. So you need to make sure that all your operations align with your core values. And then you want to create messaging that speaks to your purpose. So I don't tell my clients, go out, save the world, and then say, hey, look what I'm doing, everybody. Come join me. I don't say that. I tell people to share their passion and talk about, we are passionate about this. We believe in this. These are our core values, and this is what we're doing about it. And then make sure that the messaging is aligned to that. So the idea is not to be braggadocious about what you're doing in the world, but it's about being authentic and accessible, and they're going to engender a feeling of trust and loyalty that they're not going to get from just any other service provider. And actionable items that you can do today. So when you're setting up social media accounts, make sure that you're integrating your purpose and your cause into those social media accounts. Create third-party affiliations, I call it brag, but to brag about your company's commitment. So it can be a vendor. So let's say that you're an auto mechanic and you have a parts vendor. Maybe that parts vendor becomes your affiliate partner that they're going to, on their email, there's maybe email blast or social media feed, they're going to say, look what our partner is doing in the world of, we're trying to raise money for vets to have jobs or whatever. And they're bragging on you. Okay, so a third-party affiliation or a marketer to help you find those people. Develop content regarding how you're addressing the problem, so raising awareness through events and fundraisers and GoFundMe and crowdsourcing and crowdfunding. And then I think the most impactful thing that anybody can do, whether it's an individual, small sole proprietor or a medium-sized enterprise, is to create a champion testimonial video that you can use in a number of ways from someone that doesn't just believe in the product, but they believe in the cause, right? So that's the real quick and dirty of that. My name is Brandon Bain, CEO of Be Cause Marketing. That's how we got our name, Be the Cause. And you can contact me at brandon@becausemarketing.net.
Yes, Brandon!
Does anybody have some questions?
What do you think makes Buc-ee's so successful?
Clean bathroom.
Yeah. So I don't have a case study on Buc-ee's, but I have a lot of personal experience because because I would pass up 14 gas stations to get to a Buc-ee's, and I know their price is going to be competitive, right? I'm price conscious. I think we're all price sensitive. I know that their restrooms are going to be clean. I know that they're going to be consistent. I was in a Buc-ee's one time, and 4 big buses pulled up, and a whole bunch of military personnel got out, and they were in the store. I guess they were on their way somewhere. And they got on the intercom and said, we want to thank everyone here that's in the military and appreciate their service to our country. And if you're on one of those buses, please come up and get some free beef jerky as a sign of appreciation. Buc-ee has core beliefs and core values that transcend just dollars and cents. Thank you for your question.
I have a question about social media.
Sure.
So I have a business Facebook page and I have my personal Facebook page. And I really hesitated to post what, like you follow me, you see what I talk about. I want to put that on my Facebook business page, but it isn't even anything about organizing at all. Like it's about how I think and how how I walk around in the world, and it's all very like, I don't know.
It's about you.
It's totally who I am. And when I work with people, they feel what I say, but I don't say those things.
Sure.
So how do I do that?
Yeah, I mean, I think that a lot of people have social media for their business because they think it's like the next website. Like, I gotta have it, right? I think that the problem is they don't really have a purpose, a goal, objective, and ways to measure it. And a lot of times it's stream of consciousness. It's inconsistent messaging. So if you're going to have an identity crisis, then and people don't get what you're all about, then they're not going to be able to relate, and this brand loyalty is going to stay low. So it's about having something on your masthead that you believe and creating consistent messaging around it. I am a big time believer that when you can break the personal wall, this personal barrier of I got to keep my personal life and my business life separate, then people I get what you're all about, and I relate to that. And now I trust you because I don't feel like you're lifting the curtain a little bit and letting me in a little bit, right?
Right.
The biggest problem that we see with cause-based messaging is this mental hurdle that if I'm doing good in the world, I shouldn't have any sort of reciprocity, right? Like having reciprocity, having some sort of kickback feels a little grimy or inauthentic, like I'm just doing good for the sake of making money. The truth is that you get back no matter what you give. You can't give without receiving, right? The oxytocin. Maybe you're a Christian, you believe you're going to heaven. Maybe it's a government tax break. You're going to get something. So you have to forget about the reciprocity issue and just know that the more money you can raise in your business, the bigger the lightning rod you can be for your cause and your purpose in the world. But in terms of social media, I'm absolutely on board with not being a stream of thought, being consistent messaging, but being authentic.
Even if you're weird.
Huh?
Can I
If you're weird,
comment on
just go
that a
for
little
it.
bit? So part of what I like about him is because he has the videos with the kids. So you see that he's a great dad and has fun with his kids. And then he's got toothpaste. And then there's Tyrese Gibson. I still need to find out about that. But there's all these things. And so you watch his videos, whether it's about, the family or it's about, hey, because marketing, here's what we do. I watch the whole thing. And part of why I like him and trust him is because I get the whole picture. So I think that's part of it. And one thing that I want to bring out, because I don't think, you've told us a lot of good information to help us, but I think you're the kind of person that would meet one-on-one with people. Like for networking, these guys are who I partner with. For this stuff that I'm trying to do now, I told Brandon, I want to talk to you. I mean, I'm looking at YouTube and Facebook and all that stuff, and how do you integrate that? He's got great ideas, and the thing is, later on, if there is a business, that's where he's going to step in and he can keep the ball rolling. So it's a good referral for him. But I think you don't mind meeting with people and visiting, and I think you're really good. That may not have come out in here, all this stuff about.
I think the biggest challenge we have, I'll cut this real quick. The biggest challenge we have is if you're not authentic and they see your personal Facebook is like contradictory to what your business is proposing y'all are, then everything goes down the tubes. So you have to be authentic. Over a long enough timeline, who you are is revealed, right? And secondly is, I don't mind giving away the quote-unquote secret sauce of what I do, right? Financial planners can give away the secret sauce of what they do. It's a matter of time, right? If you don't have the time because you're working on your business, then even if you have the formula, you're not going to be able to implement those systems, okay? So you don't want to go hire someone on because now you got to deal with an employee, right? And now you got to deal with federal taxes and managing employees. You don't want to go hire the big firm because now you're just a little dude in a big box. You don't want to hire an intern at a cheap cost because now they're going to learn and fail on your dime, right? Not invented here. You want someone that knows what they're doing, and that's why our business got started. Working with small businesses.
Hey!